Greetings YouTube, this is the Garage Autonomist. In the flurry of getting together for my vacation, I completely forgot to tell you guys that I was actually going on vacation. Sorry about that. So I'm back. Now where we were, there was no internet as this was an unplugged break. We really didn't even have TV in our room, other than the one in the lobby. So I only watched my set news feeds from Google. It's been a week, people, right? There are two pieces of shits who are in the forefront of my mind right now. One piece of shit is in the White House. The other should be on a marble slab by now as a result of him taking his own life. I'll start with the piece of shit in the White House. This man dropped a Moab in some remote part of Afghanistan where I'm sure military intelligence yes-men the prospects that ISIS might be there, or maybe they were. Now granted, as a side note, only morons would have only one network of caves acting as a safe house and training installation. Either way, this Moab should be considered the 10.5-ton distraction. And the distraction or deflection is real because one, you have an administration that within its first 100 days is falling apart due to various scandals. And two, that administration lacks any real solutions for the jobless people of the Rust Belt. And that same administration, it seems, is also failing the racist, sexist, xenophobic trolls who put this piece of shit in the White House to begin with. The Tomahawk cruise missile attack of the week before, and now his saber rattling at North Korea is also a result of him making sure that we are paying attention to his muscle flexing on the global stage rather than us seeing that he has nothing to offer as a so-called leader. But then this has been the issue of all American presidents, hasn't it? Whether you're talking about mother of all bombs from Trump or Obama's surgical drone strikes that have murdered countless innocents, or Bush 1 or Bush 2's war against Saddam. Moving on. The second piece of shit that I wanted to talk about was Steve Stephens, who killed a 74-year-old black man by the name of Robert Godwin Sr. As we all know, there was supposedly an at-large APB for Stephens, but they were not really going to be overturning the city or the 3 states bordering Ohio to look for him. After all, Stephens did not murder cops. He did not murder a governor or a mayor or any member of the ruling class. He murdered an African-American male, and Steve Stephens himself is an African-American. So the only thing that we have to hope for was either street justice to be visited upon Stephens or that he would take his own life, which thankfully he did. And I'm glad that he did, because he removed the threat of taking other innocent lives. After we flew back in Monday morning, I saw response videos from the Negro Manosphere regarding Stephens. I thought they were really funny in that some of these sociopaths claimed that this man was actually a product of single black women households, and that Stephens himself was a simp. These men only gave a superficial listen to what this moron was saying in his crazed diatribes in his videos that he uploaded to Facebook. These clowns claim that it was his scorned love for a woman is the reason that he supposedly killed 13 people, which we still haven't seen any evidence of earlier victims attached to Stephens yet, but moments later, his 14th victim would be Mr. Godwin. Supposedly, he was driven crazy by his love for some woman, and as the Negro Manospherians see it, he was a simp. But if you watch his supposed manifesto, he actually embodies the psychological profile of the average black male of the online cult we all know as the Manosphere. A link to one of his psychotic ramblings is in the low bar. So let's see. You got a guy who's full of self-serving victimhood, tired of being laughed at, rejected by women, picking on people who are weaker than him. He has to grunt to get out of a car to commit the heinous act that he committed. So he was well possibly over 300 pounds. And I'm not trying to body shame. I'm just pointing out that I'm led to the conclusion that a lot of his insecurities might have to do with his self-image, like a few other men out there who might be that way about their weight or their height. The dude had his eyebrows did, by the way. So I found that interesting in that he might have some deeper conflicts going on. But then again, lots of self-hating closeted psychos are in the Negro Manosphere as well. He constantly called women bitches. There seemed to be a lot of anger. So therefore, this was not about romance or winning some woman over by killing people. He was, as I saw him, a misogynist piece of shit who blew his gasket. Take your pick from any of the faceless trolls who support channels such as the introspective black misogynists or the alt-right draggies like turd-flinging failure, or channels such as the mumbling fitted cap channel. Just know it could be any one of those guys who loses it, and this is what you get is a Steve Stevens. Although I believe we who work for a living should have free and universal health care that would be able to quickly address mental illness, and that we should also have a culture that would encourage someone like Steve to get psychological help, I'm glad that he offed himself so that he, as a menace, would not take any more innocent lives. And I would think it would only be a matter of time before he would have killed a woman or a child. I will be coming back with new content. Sorry that I took a break and didn't tell everybody I was going to be gone. Sorry about that. This is the Garage Autonomist.